Hey there, my fellow YouTubians. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with some stuff. Um, but welcome back to the most exciting or most interesting series for me here on YouTube, and that's the Retire with Less series. Now, I'm going to go over, like I always do every week, or every month, I should say. This is a monthly series that I track a paper portfolio with a smaller amount of money. And I say smaller, it started with $250,000. Now you might be saying, GW or Jerry. That's funny. I never say my name, but a lot of you figured it out, I guess, down in the comments. My name's Jerry. I'm with GW ETF channel. But I started this series because, all you hear in all of the professional finance landscape and retirement landscape is you need millions of dollars to retire, right? And for me, I started late. I'm middle-aged. I'm 46, I think. You stop tracking how old you are after a while. I believe I'm 46. And I only started in about 2018, started saving. We were, knee deep in debt in 2018. We got out of debt and we started aggressively saving. But I know for a fact that I couldn't reach millions of dollars that the experts say that you need to retire, right? Especially if you want to retire early. Now, me and my wife, we have a plan to retire early, buy an RV, and hit the road and travel our country before, we kick the bucket, right? Like for me personally, my father passed away at 58. My brother passed away at 46, I want to say. I forget how old he was, but my mom is still alive. She's up in her high 60s. But tomorrow's never promised, right? So, me and my wife are just going to try to go early and enjoy the things that we can enjoy while we can. And I hope we can get there. But that spurred on, how could I generate income off a smaller amount of money and still live and pay our bills and enjoy life, right? And so that just spawned this whole series of trying to generate income off a smaller amount that I believe is more attainable for most average Americans. I think the average American is going to be more in this boat than they are in the $1 Million Club. That's just my feelings on it. I just think there's more average blue collar, white collar, I don't know the difference, but just regular people that are just working plain old 9-to-5 jobs and just trying to make it, right? And so what I did was I assembled a portfolio with $250,000, and I've been trying to generate income. At least I started out with $2,500 a month. I figured if you can generate $2,500 a month off of $250,000, that's 1% a month. And possibly you'll have maybe some side hustles, or maybe you're on YouTube, or maybe you do a part-time job of something that you actually like doing, that would allow you to semi-retire, or even fully retire depending upon your expenses. And that's key too. So, we're trying to get $2,500, which now we've gone to $2,600 per month out of this paper portfolio because we adjusted it for inflation, because we've been doing this for over a year now. It started out with buying a bunch of stocks, and I was selling covered calls on it. This was way back in the beginning of this, and we've since converted over, and that was one side. I'm doing two portfolios. One was that port, which was covered calls, and now it's in a wheeling QQQ and a little change for this month. And the other side of the coin was comparing, just dumping $250,000 in QYLD, which is a high yielding ETF that pays about 1% a month. So that's where we're at. And, glad to have you here. If this interests you, please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff in a pinned comment down below. is ways that you can support the channel. A lot of you used the Ko-Fi link last month, and all I can say is I appreciate it. It definitely all went to the RV fund, and that update is coming up soon. So thank you very much. So after all that, let's get into it. We'll do a quick review of June, and then we'll get into July. So here we are looking at June, and in June we sold 6 put contracts because we ended up all in cash in June. So we sold 6 put contracts on the QQQ and collected $455 in income per contract, which gave us $2,730 for that month. Now, July 16th, those contracts expired. QQQ, we sold a $335 strike price on that. So as long as QQQ stayed above $335 on July 16th, we would keep all of that income and the collateral that was secured for those contracts, because you have to secure the contracts with cash. That goes just all back to cash. So we're sitting back at what was it? It was $200,000 securing it. So we're sitting at $300,000 in cash on July 16th because QQQ closed at $357.60, which was above the strike price. Now on the QYLD side in June, it gave us income of, it was short. And we had to pull some money out of our cash bucket. That's right. So it gave us $2,384.84 in income in June. We had to pull $215 in cash to cover our expenses of $2,600 per month. So that brings us to July. Now, I was talking about last month what I'm going to do with this pile of cash, because even if I secured $200,000 worth of QQQ contracts, we're still sitting on $99,000 in cash. So what kind of a change did I make? Well, there's a reason why I did that income fund showdown video, and if you missed it, I'll link it up here and down below. That video was a hit, and I suggest you watch it. There was a reason for me doing that, and that was because I wanted to add a wrinkle to the QQQ side. Now the QQQ side, you'll notice Russell 2000 RYLD. So that $300,000 in cash that we ended up with on July 16th, I ended up buying in the paper account 2,000 shares of RYLD. And that's the Russell 2000 covered call ETF. Somewhat similar to QYLD. It's a different index, and they handle the contracts just slightly different. So we spent $49,780 of that $300,000 on RYLD. Bought us 2,000 shares, and that for the month of July gave us $492 in a monthly dividend, so monthly income. So my thought process here is that I wanted an income fund that would take some of the cash and guarantee us recurring income every month. And what that would do was relieve the aggressiveness that I needed to have on the QQQ contracts. So like you'll see, last month we sold 6 contracts, and this month we only sold 5. So it's allowing me to get a little bit less aggressive on QQQ and sell less contracts as well. Now, so for instance, we sold 5 contracts of QQQ at a strike price of $337. That's an 82% probability of profit. I could call it delta, a different number, but that's a little bit more confusing. It's 82% chance that QQQ will stay above $337 by August 20th is when these contracts expire. So I was able to sell 5 contracts, collect $435 per contract with an expiration date of August 20th. So what that did was gave us $2,175 in put contract income on QQQ. Add that to the $492 we got from the RYLD dividend, and we have a grand total of $2,667. That meets our income need of $2,600 per month. So you can see here, just removing that one contract, adding those 2,000 shares of RYLD, now we're only committing $168,500 to the QQQ contracts, put contracts, whereas last month we were dedicating $201,000. So we're saving some cash there. So if we look at it, we got our income need for the month, right? And even after allocating the $168,500 to secure those put contracts, and after buying the $50,000 or 2,000 shares of RYLD, we are still sitting on $81,791.86 in cash. So I kind of like this combo. I really, really do. And we'll see how that plays out. To me, it seems a little safer because I can get safer on these QQQ put contracts. I don't have to get so close, because I think in June when I did this 335, I forget. I should have had that known, but I was really close to the strike price. So the probability of profit right here was much higher, or was much lower, I'm sorry, last month than it is this month. So that is the QQQ side. We added the RYLD ETF, guaranteeing us some, steady income, and allowing us to get safer on the QQQ put contracts. So total, since inception of this strategy, $41,258.84 in income collected. Now on the QYLD side, QYLD rebounded from last month. Last month they were down for some reason. They were real short on their dividend. Not real short, but they were short than normal on their dividend. They rebounded it to 22.3 cents. We have an income need of $2,600 per month. So QYLD paid out $2,741.34. So it exceeded our monthly income need. Now, what I'm going to do is whenever I have excess, I'm just going to go ahead and buy more QYLD. That's, if you're not going to continue to reinvest some QYLD, eventually I think inflation's going to take over, and you're not going to be able to keep up. Because if QYLD stays flat, your income stays flat, but inflation goes up, then QYLD will eventually be a loser, right? A net loser eventually. So what I've done is I took $154. We had an excess of $141.34. So I just went and bought 7 more shares at $22 over there, which brought our total shares up to 12,300. And we'll just do that every month. I know it's just a little bit, but every little bit counts, especially on this QYLD side. In my opinion, this is the riskier side of the income generating funds. It would be nice if the QYLD side started with 350,000, then you'd be a lot more comfortable. But I wanted to start these on even planes, right? $250,000 was the rule. That was it. That's what I think would be attainable for me and for most people if they, concentrated on it. $250,000 is a lot. It sounds a lot more achievable than 2 million, right? So that's it. QYLD, they both, they did 2741, so it met our income need. We added a few shares to QYLD to try to boost that income and keep inflation, keep ahead of inflation, hopefully. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave me a comment down below. What are your retirement goals? Someone emailed me the other day. Oh, by the way, someone asked me for my email. If you go to my YouTube channel and go to the About page, there's my email address is down there. So if you wanted to contact me, you can contact me there. But a lady, a senior, she's about 63. She emailed me, said she's got about $230,000, so she's really enjoying the series. She still's working part-time, but she's trying to retire. She's doing option put contracts and invested in some of these income funds, and I'm like, wow, this is great. She's on Social Security and working part-time. It's kind of cool, to hear some people's stories. Unfortunately for her, she has a mortgage. If she can get rid of that mortgage, boy, she'd probably be in very good shape. So watch your expenses. Try to get rid of the mortgage before you retire. Examine all your options as far as income sources. Try to diversify. If you can do option contracts, that'd be great. If you can do some income funds, that'd be great. If you can have a part-time job or a side hustle or your own business or do YouTube, something that you enjoy, that would be awesome as well. But retirement, if you're right there and you can taste retirement, you need to learn these things, especially if you're on the lower to middle income range like myself, and I think the vast majority of people out there, that all they hear is you need millions of dollars to retire. And I think that's false, and I think it's a very big disservice to the vast majority of people. But that's why I've started this series. So if you have any comments, concerns, questions, leave them down below. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.